Hey, listen, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Jeff, where our mission is to bring, like our guests coming up, empowering guests from all over the world, from different backgrounds that are willing to share their experiences, their struggles, and the outcome that they made by keep moving forward, overcoming that stinking thinking, right? Dealing with the stressors in life, right? That external noise, like our political climate in the U.S., right? Natural disasters in California and potentially tsunamis, other places in the world, right? And then the everyday stressors that we face. You know what I mean? Like worrying about money, with AI out there now, the employment specter, what's that look like, right? And health and wealth, right? And these guests, like our next guest coming up, and they are willing to share what their life was like going through all of those things and giving you, the listener, right, some empowering solutions. And I love to think about, in the next 30 minutes or so, sharing some things that will fill your soul with gratitude, man, right? I mean, when I'm giving you unwavering self-belief, right? One of those things that we all struggle with. And what it does is remind you that you are enough. Oh, man, so many of us out there wondering, questioning, am I worthy? Am I capable? And I got to tell you, listen to our guest coming up, and as she shares, right, all these things. And you know what? Take some notes. Share this information with your friends. Make sure you're calling your friends now, saying, hey, dial in, send them the link, whatever you have to do to get them involved in this, right? Because at the end of the day, the whole mission is to help you become aware of and master what I believe is the most powerful gift that we underutilize, misunderstand, and that's the stinking thinking and how it impacts our lives and how it can impact our lives in a positive way or how it continues to slow our life down, right? The self-doubt and all the other things. So, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I'm the host of Conversations with Jeff, and I'm known as the Comeback King. I got that name from folks that I've helped over the years who one day said, hey, Jeff, man, you've done this and you've done these things and you serve like a king. And so, I said, okay. And they said, well, we're going to call you the Comeback King because it was about giving back to them, right? Oh, man, just like this guest that we're bringing up, right? And man, I'm excited. We chatted just for a minute before we got in here, man, and she's just on fire. And I'm going to highlight and she'll tell some of the story, but she's migrated from Alaska's, journeyed all the way down through Texas, and she'll tell you those stories, and we'll get a chance to talk about some of that stuff. And from there, got married and a great wife and person of class and society, and they built this. Her and her husband built this great real estate investing business. And just so many different things. And what I get so excited about is she's talking about stepping into your fullest potential, right? And she was already doing some great things, but I saw her make a shift. Oh, and we want to find out how that's going with her. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I always mess up her last name, and she corrects me, and that's okay. But you can see it in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to Conversations with Jeff, my friend and our next guest, LeAnne LeFortune. All right.
Hi, Jeff. Hello. Thank you for having me on. I am so fired up and so excited for this conversation. So thank you for having me on again. I love being here in your space.
Thank you. Well, you bring so much energy and you drop so many nuggets for people to be able to take right now, take what you're hearing from you, LeAnne, and then make a shift in their life, right?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. So I got my sweater on. I got to make sure it's all straight because my wife like, "You fix your collar, man." So.
Oh goodness, yeah.
So hey, there's so much to talk about today, but I guess I made a note here just to say. I'd like you to get to it when you feel like it, but what does it mean to step into your life? Yeah. I saw your journey and in the real estate, and then I saw a shift. And man, I think it's a lot of shifting that's going to happen going into 2025, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So why that? Why then? I mean, how's it going?
Yes, yes. Well, just so that it kind of makes sense to everybody, if it's okay,
Yes,
I'll tell the story again. I know I've been
yes,
on here before, but just in case for the new people that haven't met me, I'd love to share a little background just so that they know kind of it gives context a little bit.
absolutely, absolutely, please, no doubt.
So my name is LeAnne LeFortune. For those of you that haven't met me before, I grew up on a very remote, secluded island where you pretty much needed to take a bush float plane or a boat or a ferry, which was a very long ferry ride, 3-4 hour ferry ride to get to the island where I was at. And then there's no taxi service. So you actually need to know someone to go across the island to pick you up, to take you to wherever you need to go. Like, it's not an easy commute. A lot of people don't go there because it's just so far out of the way. And I'm from a fishing village, a fishing town. My dad's a commercial fisherman. So I grew up on the ocean. That was really, I saw whales every day. I saw bears, deer, eagles, sea otters. Like, nature was so much a part of my life. And I didn't realize just how significant that was and how unique of an upbringing that was. So my dad, I was working from a very young age. He taught me to clean fish, help him land the fish on board, ice them, sell the fish, do all that. I was very much a part of the small family business. And I grew up working like that. He did not treat me like a girl. He treated me like I was help on the fishing boat. He put me to work.
That's it.
Yeah, I grew up helping him get firewood, chop wood, stuff like that. It was very much a remote Alaskan experience.
Yeah.
And now I'm just so grateful for that. But growing up amongst all that, I really have found an affinity for nature, and I decided to go on and get my degree in biology. And so I went to the University of Alaska Southeast. I got my degree in biology, and then I also decided to get my 100-ton captain's license because I had all this sea time. I figured, why not?
Yeah.
Took the test, got my license. And from there, I kind of found myself really niching down on what my expertise was. Like, I would try to get hired somewhere other than Alaska because I wanted to go adventuring. Yeah. But because all my experience was in Alaska and on the ocean, I found that really the best jobs I could get was on research vessels. That's where they want to hire me because of my sea time and my biology degree. And so I ended up landing a job on a research vessel, and I spent 6+ months out at sea where there was no Wi-Fi, there was no cell phone. Like, you were just in nature, out where you can't even see land most of the time. Like, that's how far out we were at sea. And we were doing, fisheries testing and stuff to help manage the fisheries of Alaska. Alaska has like the best fisheries management system in the world, in my opinion. So I was helping do that research and collect that data. But I found that I wanted something more. Like, I wanted more freedom. Like, that does seem like freedom. You're out experiencing amazing nature, but I wanted the freedom to go where I want to go, work from where I want to work, just be able to do that. And so, and I also saw a cap. I was like, okay, if I stay here, I will be the captain. I was next up to be the captain of the research vessel. And I saw how grumpy he was. I also saw the income cap too, and I was like, that's not what I want.
Yeah, no.
And so I decided to, at 27 years old, I quit my job without even a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just was like, my everything, my intuition, which I have learned to follow 100%, my intuition said, this is not for me. So I left. And I ended up listening to the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And he talks about entrepreneurship and how you can be an entrepreneur by hiring virtual assistants and different things like that. Yeah. That just blew my mind at the time. That was 10 years ago. And I was like, wow, I think I can do this too. But now what am I going to do? Because an entrepreneur can be someone selling butterfly stickers. Like, what is this business? What is this entrepreneur thing?
Yes, yes.
I'm driving down the road and I hear like, do you want to learn how to flip houses? And I was like, that's my son. I'm going to go do that. Like, I can do that. I kind of helped my dad a little bit. My dad dabbles in real estate. And I was like, this sounds like fun. Like, I can do this. So at 27 years old, I start doing the entrepreneur thing. I decided to just start my LLC. I'm learning how to flip houses and I'm going to banks and I'm like, will you lend me money so I can go flip this house? And they're like, no, you have no experience. You're 27 years old. You're this young woman. Like, you don't have a team. You don't have it. Like, why would we give you money? You know?
Are you crazy? What's wrong?
Yeah. And so what I learned from that is that it really, you need to lean on your team. You need to, like, for me anyways, in this experience, I needed to go get more education, which I leaned on that. I was like, I'm taking education courses. I'm learning how to do this. But then it's like, you can go and find people that know the things that you don't know, and you can start building a team that know the things. So then when I go to the bank, I'm not like, lend me money. I'm all by myself, 27, don't know anything. You go in there with confidence and conviction that you can do the thing and that you've done your research and that you built your team and the people that, you know, that know more than you. Like, what I ended up doing is I actually my partner, who is now my husband, I ended up meeting him in there, and what we ended up doing is that he ended up having like more of the construction background, and I was able to do more of the marketing and things like that, and we came together and we were kind of like the yin and yang, where I didn't have experience, he did, and vice versa. And then from there we started building networking with other people and building a team. But what you really need to do is, if I went to the bank and I was like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing and it might not work out, and oh my goodness, like, I don't know if I can do this, it might not work. Like, if you go in there with fear, and fear is really just like fear of pain. That's what you fear. You fear of it not working. You fear of the predictable outcome of it's just not going to work out. Or you can go in there and with faith and conviction and be like, I've done the thing, I've done the research, and this is why you want to lend me money. This is just a great example of why, if you step into your power and you go in there with faith and instead of fear, which I think that faith and fear are on the same frequency.
Yes,
they're opposite.
I agree 100%.
You flip the script. It's like you have faith, or you flip it and look at the other side of it, and it's like there's fear or faith. And so what I've learned to really do, and I didn't realize that at 27, this is hindsight looking back. I'm like, oh, I see what I did there.
Can I ask you a question too? I want people to hear this. You mentioned faith, you mentioned having posture, but fear was still there too, right? I mean, there was still fear.
Oh yeah.
You just stepped on top of it, right? You just stood on top of the fear and moved forward. So I just, people need to understand too, guys, that they just didn't do a business. They built, well, you can tell us, but a great.
Yeah. So we ended up, there was the fear. I mean, I was like shaking in my boots saying like, oh my, why would they ever do this? And I got so many no's. I really did. I mean, it was like the Disney story where, Disney went in and he asked, I don't know, 300 people for a loan to go do this crazy vision that he has that is now like a $1 billion empire, multi-billion-dollar empire. I'm sure he had fear, but he still had this, like, so much faith in his dream and conviction that this is what he was meant to do. And he had a vision, and he just kept going and picking himself back up. Even when he got a no, he's like, well, there's a yes out there somewhere. And I'm going to find it.
Fill that jar of no's, because sooner or later, yes is going to fall out. You can't.
Right. Yeah. Just because someone else doesn't believe in you doesn't mean that the yes isn't out there. You just have to find the people that want to partner with you. Like that's really find the people that see your vision and believe in you and keep doing your homework. If you get a no, you can always ask for feedback. Like, why is there a no? Like, so that you can go and do your homework, reassess, gather yourself back up, do your due diligence, and go back out there and present yourself, maybe do a little tweak and present yourself just a little bit different and fix the thing. It's like you learn as you go, but you have to have the faith to keep going and the conviction. Absolutely.
And some humbleness too, because pride gets in the way. Right? I mean, some people are like, I don't need to ask anybody. I'll just figure it out. And they can continue down that rabbit hole. And then sooner or later, they're back at a job or doing something different. So, pride and because I know for me, I had some of that in certain points in my life. So anyone out there that says I can do it all by myself, there's a wake-up call for you. Right? I mean, you've done that. You've stepped into it and just doing amazing things. But go ahead. I wanted to highlight that. People were saying good morning, hey Nordia, and people are agreeing with you, Perm 9. So let's keep rolling.
Oh, good morning. Why don't I see the comments? Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, look at it. Hello everyone. I didn't see those. I had to click a button for them to pop up.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that kind of brought up a thought is that really you should be receptive to what happens after that. Like, be okay with failure. And I know that it's so hard to do because you fear that pain of failure so much. Like, what if I'm judged? What if my family thinks this? What if my friends no longer want to be friends because I've changed so much? What if I lose money? What if this doesn't work out? What if, and you can like they say, another kind of way to phrase it is I should do this or whatever. And I've heard like you can should all over yourself, but you really don't want to do that,
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
So and the failure teaches you so much more than the wins, quite honestly. I have failed so much along the way, but I learned so much from it. It just is the biggest teaching moments if you allow it. And then it shows you that you can grow. I feel like failure is an opportunity to grow because if you pick yourself up after that failure and you learn for it, you have ascended to another level.
It's amazing.
My humble opinion.
It elevates us. Right?
Yeah.
My coach said, Jeff, when I come to him, I made a bad mistake, and he's like, he's smiling at me, and I'm like, well, early on, why are you smiling? He said, well, welcome to real life. Level. Now what? What are you going to do now? Right? And you've done that, right?
It stretches your capacity every single time. Yep. And then there's going to be more, though. Is one of my mentors once described it as like you're ascending a staircase, and there's like landings at every point where you can stop. And it's like you think that you've reached the next level and you're not going to have those other things, the fear, the testing, the things the universe sends you to see if you're really ready for it. But at every level, you're still going to reach those things every single time. Just because you've ascended doesn't mean it's over. Like you still have to hold the faith the whole entire time.
You got to hold the faith. It's the devil at another level, as they say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this has been good. I want, since we don't have so much time, I want to kind of just make sure that people can you talk about what does it mean to step into the light. And you were having all these amazing things, and I saw a shift in last year. I believe it was this is just what I saw from a distance, where you really were kind of like, I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how that is, because everybody needs to know that they can step into the light at any time, right?
Absolutely, yeah. For me, it's always it's how do I describe it? It's a feeling. It is seeing yourself in your fullest power. It is always holding faith. But the most important part that I have found, Jeff, is gratitude.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be so grateful for everything that you have in your life. And the shift that I think that you saw is I started doing a practice, and I'm going to share it with you guys because this transformed my life.
That's awesome.
What I started doing is I started looking at the things around me. And this is like, honestly, it's easier to do when you have less because as you start getting more, you have to be grateful for even more things. And it's like more and more and more. But if you don't have much, I actually started this practice a long time ago, but this last year I really did it. And back when I had just landed in Texas, going from Alaska. I had like no money, nothing. And I was living in a crappy apartment where you could hear your neighbors use the bathroom. And all I could afford was a $100 Walmart blow-up mattress that immediately got a hole. So I was really just like sleeping on the floor, and we had no money. And we were like, okay, we still had to hold the faith then that like we were going to build this empire that we have now. But I would still sit in gratitude and have a gratitude practice of, at least I have it. Thank you for this roof over my head. Thank you for this place to stay. Thank you for the fresh water. Like, it was simple stuff like that. But what I really started doing now that is actually a change from that to now, that I think what you saw is I would look at the things around me and I would be like, there was a time where I did not have this. I am so grateful. Thank you that I have that. Like, thank you. Then you want to imagine yourself almost not having it again. Like, you want to have this, like, you almost want to cry because you're just so grateful that you have the things now and you have manifested them. And, you know, that, God has given you the things now and you're just grateful. It's more of a gratitude practice. And what I like to do is be more in gratitude than in prayer and asking for things, because the more that you're grateful for, the more things will come to you, is what I have found. And so I hold that gratitude practice so strong every single day, every moment when I walk around and look at things. Like, I am in that zone of gratitude all day, every day. It's my practice, like 100%. Yeah.
I love that. And I agree 100%. You know, I sponsor helping me learn how to live a new life talks about a gratitude list all the time. Take 5 minutes, write down 5 things that you're grateful for, and carry those things like you're talking about, right? And it simplifies the things, and it brings I've experienced so much more from that practice.
Yeah.
Than anything else, right?
Yeah.
So
and I feel like it's like, I absolutely love the list, and I used to do the list a lot, but a list, I feel like it's like, okay, I have this chore to write down 5 things, and then and so I kind of moved away from the list of just like deep gratitude to the point of almost crying on every single thing that I look at. It's not so much a list anymore as just like a practice that I hold all day.
You said a way of life, a way of thinking. I mean, it just runs through you.
Yeah, I think that the list is more of like, it is a thing. You have to be in a conscious thought to start it. And so consciously, you're like, okay, I'm going to start a gratitude practice. But once you really get into it, it's subconscious. It's just the way I am. It is subconscious. I'm in this state all the time.
It's in our fiber, in that physical fiber, right? Not only here in the mind, it connects with the soul and the heart. So I love that.
That. It goes from conscious to subconscious. Yeah, exactly. That's the switch that you saw. Yeah.
I saw it. It was like, wow.
Yes.
And I felt so much. I saw the bravery in it, because, you know, it didn't take away from what you were doing, but it was kind of like stepping on to another level of newness, right? Uncertainty, right? What's my life going to be like? So many people struggle with, oh, I got to have it all perfectly. I got to have it. You've been talking about it already. Sleeping on a mattress from Walmart, you know, leaving, right? And leaving, you know, a captain's role would have been a nice position for some folks in Alaska, right? But you were like, you were already listening to that whisper that said that you were meant for more, that many of us are listening to today. So when the struggles came up, though, I mean, this is nice that we're talking about how it is right now. But, you know, over the last couple of years, I know there's been some impact in real estate and some other setbacks. What have you, in addition to what you haven't talked about already, what's one thing that you think about that you're grateful for now that was really kind of like, man, I don't know. This thing is heavy. I don't, you know.
Oh, goodness. I have pivoted my business so huge in this past year. It's funny that you say you saw a switch because this past year has been the hardest year of my life.
Yeah.
Hands down, the hardest.
Yes.
But you see that I still extended, I still leveled up through it. So duality is a huge part of it. You can, as long as you can hold it through the hard times. And there's this thing that my mentor also said, she's like, let joy disrupt your sadness. Like, just because there is this hard thing going on doesn't mean that you don't allow yourself to be happy. Doesn't mean that you don't allow yourself to be grateful. Like, throughout this whole thing, it actually made it easier for me to be grateful, which is a really weird thing to say.
No, I get it though. I get it.
When things are so hard, you have to really dig in, and it allows you to get deeper in your practice, or that's what it allowed me to do. Yeah. And so, yeah, real estate took a really hard hit, and that's what my husband and I do. We're 100% in real estate. So when it got hit here, it was really hard. Yeah. But what it allowed us to do was shed a lot of things that were not for us. And so letting go was a huge part of it, and being grateful for the weight being lifted, and the fact that it actually made us better business people. We learned so much. Like I said, adversity and challenges, you actually learn the most from that. And so it has really allowed us to be grateful for those hard times, because it made us better. I mean, if things are just always good, it's easy to just be like, oh yeah, la la la, here we go, and you continue doing the things that even aren't meant for you. You realize that's what I realized afterwards. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful all of that is gone. We're pivoting our business because this is so much better.
Yeah, but when you're in the frame, you don't really know it. You feel something, but you don't really know, and to be able to put the brakes on, LeAnne, like you did.
Yeah.
Because I had my battles in real estate as well at that time, and I reached out to you, you said, Jeff, man, hey, I'd love to, but I can't, and all those things are part of the process. All those things fill us with gratitude still.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Right. So moving forward now, and I got to tell you, watching you transition, and listen, we don't really talk a lot. I mean, I saw this from just following you on your post and sharing and growing, and from that was able to just feel the power in the change, feel the appreciation, right? Feel this thing from you, and just amazing. So I applaud you.
Thank you.
Doing that. That's why I got to get her back on here, man, because there's a lot of worry going on right now, right? I mean, AI and I talked earlier about the political landscaping and all of that stuff. So what can you say to folks out there that may be caught up in that chatter?
Oh, goodness. People are always afraid of change. And so I think that really what helps is being on the leading edge of the change. And so that's what I really focused on. Like you said, AI, I have actually learned how to use AI in my business, and it has been so, goodness, I don't even know what to say about it. If you need help, I mean, it's like having 100 VAs that you would normally have to pay that now you don't have to. And I know that sounds, what's scary is if you don't leverage it, I think. Yeah. And so what I've learned to do is just be on the leading edge of the change and try to be ahead of it and understand it, so that I'm not fearful of it, and understand how to leverage the new technology. And as far as politics and things like that go, I just try to keep informed so I can try to, I mean, you can't really predict the future, but if you kind of like educate yourself, you have a better idea, you know?
That's right. And you can't control what happens. I mean, you can control the
Right.
environment that we're in, right? And I love the fact about staying ahead of the cutting edge. And that goes for you gray hairs like me out there that think that, you know, you can't do it or it's a struggle. It's not really.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary. You know,
Right.
I think it's just the way the world is, and the shifts are necessary in order to stay up. And if you don't understand it, like you talked about, find the who that can help you.
Right. Absolutely. Who's somebody, you know, that you can grow your team and try to educate yourself. And, you know, you like that theory, I can't remember who says it, but it's like, you are the 5 people that you hang out with, you know.
Yeah.
So always make sure that the people that you are hanging out with and the people that you talk to are the people that will help you grow instead of take you down to a lower level, you know. Level up. I don't want to be the least educated, least knowledgeable person in the room so that I can go and learn from everybody in that room and everybody at that table. Like, I am not ashamed to admit things that I don't know.
Neither am I, you know, and it's powerful that you say that proximity is power, right? And influence that we can gain. But a lot of people, man, that goes back to the ego. I don't, you know.
Yes.
And that blocks their blessings, right? I mean, because like you said, man, what do you gain from being the smartest? What do you gain from being the bravest? What do you gain really from being that go-to? It takes away from you eventually. You know?
Yeah.
And so,
fear actually is like feeding the ego. Fear feeds the ego because the ego doesn't want to fail, and fear is the failure, fear and pain of failure, you know, kind of thing. So it's like fear, ego, pain, they're all intertangled together.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And embracing them and smiling through the pain is truly a gift. So, you know, as we kind of get close to the end here, man, time is already zipping by. You wrote something down to me. And if anybody, before the show, she put something together which it kind of goes through some of these things in detail. And if anybody wants to see that, let me know. Hit me in the chat. Hey, Jeff, send that to me, and I will. She just went through some really powerful thoughts about what we're talking about today, and I can send that to you. So very true, change should be embraced. That's right. Very true, change should be embraced. I love that. Nordia's clapping for where you're going. And so I appreciate everybody in the chat and getting this thing shared out. But you already talked about living boldly, which you talked about. You talking about claiming your power, LeAnne, creating a life of joy.
Yes. Living with intention. I now am so intentional about everything, and I am so present. And I am just so grateful for this time on earth that I have, and I want to make the most of it. And I want to be living my purpose. I want to be living what I am here and supposed to be doing. If my intuition says yes, like if I get a heck yes, then I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be living in fear and pain. I want to be living in joy, gratitude, faith, all of those things all the time, as long as I'm here on earth. And so it is very, very intentional. Yeah. I live very much in the moment.
You know, I love that. And for me, you know, I put the word that came to mind for me for this year, discipline, right? And I'm intentional about disciplining myself because that's been a challenge for me over the last year, and it's taken away from the impact. And so I like that. So Pierre Perm 9 wants me, I'll do that. Make sure you put your email in the comment section, and I'll get that over to you. Anybody else that wants it, email would be great, and I'll make sure I send that over. What I'm talking about, LeAnne, in case you're wondering, is what you prepared for me for the show. Yeah. That was awesome, by the way. I was like, man, it really was kind of.
I took a lot of time on it. I made it just for you, Jeff. You asked for it.
I feel honored, girl, because you know I saved that space and I look at it on a regular basis because knowing you and knowing how you are and who you are, it really just was opening your heart to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bravo for being brave as always. Bravo for showing up as always. So now, part of your new journey, this is a question because I'm not sure on it, and for ladies out there, tell us what you're doing. I know you talked about it, but is there some specific thing you're creating for women, or
Yeah.
what is that about?
Yeah, so I think that big money in the hands of women is a good thing for the world. I truly do. And so what I really want to do is create a space where women can invest and learn how to invest and grow their money, grow their power, grow their identity, their everything. Like it's not about, what I've learned is it's not about what you do, it's about who you are when you do it. And so stepping into your power and who you are. And I think truth is like the highest frequency there is, truth and love and joy and all of that. But truth is the highest one. So if you're living in your truth and you are growing yourself and your identity and who you are and stepping into your power and becoming a very powerful woman with money, with wealth, like the things that women do with their power and their wealth, it makes a better world. I find that women want to go and they're change makers. They want to give back. They want to help other women. And it just becomes a really beautiful thing. And so what I'm doing now is I'm creating investment opportunities for people, not just women. That's just kind of like what I feel like my calling is. It could be men too, though, if you feel so called to do that. But right now I have investment opportunities for anybody that would like to partner with me. We are, oh goodness, we're ready to just blow it up right now. We are so excited. We're going to be making greatness. And so if you want to learn about the investment opportunities and join forces with me and my husband, we are building beautiful homes here in Austin. And not only are they beautiful, but we've learned a way to do it more efficiently with better quality, that is energy efficient, better for the world, better for the environment, better for the people. There's no off-gassing and things like that with cheap builds and whatnot. So they're great quality builds. And people that join with us, you get a really good return on your investment. So that's what we have right now.
Yeah, I love that. And actually, that was one of the things that I saw before we even connected, coming from that same perspective. And ladies and gentlemen, her humbleness in what they do is showing me. Let me just brag on it. They build some bomb stuff, right? And I mean, energy efficient, no off-gassing. And that was, again, one of the things that, coming from that environment myself as a custom builder and in a real estate and flipper, using those types of materials, spending more money than most of us on the projects that they create, right? I mean, and that makes a difference because 99% of the investing building world, maybe 95, don't always consider the products and the thought processes that they have. So
they just want to build cheaper, get it up and like sell it, and they don't care, like we care so much about the quality of the build. I mean, these homes, they can go through, how there's climate change and things like that. They're better built to go through things like tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, stuff like that. So they are good quality, way more energy efficient. So your utility bills will be much lower, which is also better for the environment. And I read a statistic when I started this career is that 25% of the carbon in the atmosphere is actually from old residential homes because of how inefficient they are. And so by building better quality, it's better for the environment as well as you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And do you help in this process too? Do you have some investors out there that want to learn some things? Are you doing any side training or how to love it? Okay.
Yeah, any investor who comes in, like I'm more than happy to, I'm an open book. I'm super transparent. I share everything with them. And so I am more than happy to coach people and teach them the process of everything that we do. I think I'm also going to just start coaching programs as well for even people that don't invest, so that they can start learning how to invest, start learning even before they have the money saved up to invest, how to get started in investing and what does it even mean? What does it look like? Stuff like that. So I'm going to start coaching programs like that as well.
Okay, yeah, well, keep me posted when you do that. Maybe we'll come back and kind of talk a little bit about how they can connect and they can learn, because there's going to be a shift coming up in 2025, and I think it's going to push more people out into chasing their dreams, and real estate is the place to do it. No matter how many bumps you have, it's still the place to do it. And there's people like LeAnne and her husband out there that are doing some tremendous things. So, man, listen. How do you want to? You talked about a lot of different things, but I'd like you to close this out with, a thought that kind of feels right for you as we kind of come to the end of this session.
I think it just comes down to embracing the journey, stepping into your light, which we talked about. Stepping into your power, following your intuition, having so much faith that you were put on this earth to do the thing that you feel called to do. You are worthy just because you are here. So step into that power and have faith in yourself and go after your dreams, and only do things that are a heck yes, because you want to live in joy. You want to live in light. You want to just be so grateful and love the life that you are living, even through the duality and the hardships, because those are just lessons put there for you so that you can ascend, level up, and continue going. It's all about gratitude, joy, and loving your life. That's really what I wish for everybody, is that you just learn how to love your life so much that you go and follow your dreams. And that is just better for the world, honestly. If you are living your purpose, if you are living in joy, and you are living in gratitude, and you are doing the thing that you were put on earth to do, you're better for the world.
Yeah, I'm just taking notes here as you wrap this thing up. I got pages of notes here, and I love what you said. Heck yes. I love all that stuff you said. Live a life of heck yes.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Oh. Well, listen, my friend, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I know I have.
Yes. Of course I have loved. I love coming here and talking to you, Jeff. It's always so good. And this one was spectacular. I enjoyed every moment of it. So I will wait until you I hope that you ask me back.
Oh, there's no doubt. People are clapping for and all that. And make sure, guys, you do this. LeAnne, thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure.
Fire girl. All right. Whew. Hey, listen, I know you got stuff to do. You got to go, but man, go back through this message today what LeAnne dropped for us. I'm supposed to be doing the show, but I'm here taking notes. I encourage you to do that, and I encourage you to reach out to her. And real estate is the key to most folks' success, right? So reach out to her in that area, but look back over what she's talked about and live the life of heck yes, right? I have so many highlights, but I'll just cap off what she talked about there. And know that you are meant for more, like she talked about, and embrace the comeback as I wrap this thing up. And most importantly, stand on your stinking thinking like she did. She didn't let the stinking thinking of worry, fear, and doubt do that. And thanks, Perm 9. That was awesome. She did it. She's fire, man. This lady, I'm so grateful for the friendship and the relationship. And lastly, folks, stand on your stinking thinking, not in it. Do what LeAnne did. Face the things that you're worried about. Be bold and be brave. That shift she made in her life mid-year, whenever it was last year, man, that was a big thing because she had all these other things going on. So get ready for your shift and live the life of heck yes. Please, please, please reach out to me. For those of you that have someone that you like to bring to the conversations with Jeff, or you like more about what we're talking about, or how I can help you, please reach out to me. I'll let you know that there's nothing I mean this when I say it, and I'm looking for something as I wrap this thing up, but there is nothing more important. There's nothing more important for all of us right now, like LeAnne was just saying, to live our purpose and step into our purpose. Because I believe we all have a mission in life to serve others, right? So let's all do our part. Reach out to me here if you need that. Set a calendar date with me. If you need LeAnne's information, reach out to me again. I'll give you that as well. So thank you all for showing some time today. And remember this, don't let your thinking be the reason why you can't find the purpose that you're meant to live. Because you can do this. Nothing shall stop you from reaching your destiny. You shall not be denied. Until we meet again. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Thank you.